Well, hello. For those of you who have just found me, please be sure to subscribe. I'm Bowtie Dave, and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, or go back and look at some of our past videos. What we're about to do today, we've done before, sort of. I'm hoping to have a little more success today. But those of you who have been watching us, welcome back, and thank you for subscribing. We do appreciate it. We appreciate any likes on the videos, any comments on the videos. Please share the videos. For those of you who are returning, you will know with how much apprehension I have returned this tool to my workbench for creating anything. The last time, well, it was a bit of a disaster, so you'll have to go back and watch that video. But I am hopefully going to be doing a new and improved way. We're going to be doing it using this immersion blender down inside a jar. I did take an empty jar, I stuck it down in here, I looked at the bottom. The blade does not touch the glass, so I think we're going to be safe this time. And anyway, thanks for joining along. So that being said, here we go. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So as a little bit of a teaser, you might see I have some cabbage leaves here. That's for a video coming up that's hasn't come out yet, but be sure and watch that video. I'll put a card in the corner, maybe something in the description as far as to a link to that video when it comes out, because it's coming out later. So we've done this a few times. I've messed something up every single time. The problem is I've run out of hot sauce for my morning breakfast. Now I do have this wonderful jar of hot peppers. It has poblanos, it has hot banana peppers, it has cayenne, it has fatale, it has lots of stuff. Go back and look at the video of when I made this. This is the jar dated 9/30. Now this is coming up to the middle of December, so this has been fermenting for 6 weeks. Now between you and me, I love a good strong ferment. And this has been sitting on the shelf. It's beautiful. I see some fatale pepper right there. It's some beautiful colors. It's kind of muted down now that it's been sitting there a while. I haven't shaken it. You'll notice the top is actually sunk in quite a bit. This is the fermentation lid from Masontops. I got this over at Haas Tools. No affiliation, no sponsorship. We saw some of their videos. They talked about this, and it has this top in here that is really good for fermenting. So we've been using it ever since, and man, I love this kit. It's a great little kit. It comes with 4 of these tops, 4 glass weights, which you're going to see here in just a moment, and it comes with a packer that you're going to see in that cabbage video if you go watch it. But anyway, it's a great little tool. So we're going to come down to the end of this. We're going to take care of this. We're going to mash it up really good and get it ready to go into my morning hot sauce. I do a little bit of this in my eggs every single morning. So first thing, I've been very careful with this. Again, you don't want to shake this. This is not something to shake. You want it to settle, and it has definitely settled. A little on that. And I'm looking in here. I'm going to smell this first. Oh, okay. It smells good. There's no bad smell in here. I'm looking in the top here. There is no nasty looking stuff. There is a little bit of foam on the edge, but that is not a bad thing. That is just part of the bubbles of the process. So I was just curious what it might produce. But anyway, so this weight that I'm about to pull out, this weight actually holds everything under the brine. And this is a brine that I had in here. It's a salt solution. Again, the percentage of salt in here is very important. And so it actually helps the lacto-fermentation process take place. Oh, that does smell good. But it's a brine solution here. Now, the last video I did, I was trying to record a quick video, which, you know, every time I say it's a quick video, it turns out to be 2 hours long. So I need to just stop saying that. This is not a quick video, I don't think, but we're going to try to do it as quickly as possible. But what I'm going to do is I want to sift out the brine from my hot peppers, because those hot peppers are what I want to make into my hot sauce, because I love me some hot sauce. So I'm just using a little sifter here to get everything out. Oh, that smell, okay, that smells really good. Woo, yeah. And once I get it all out, I'm going to put it back in the jar, because I'm going to use my immersion mixer inside this jar so it doesn't split. Not in the bowl. I know some of you who might have watched my previous video, you may have been hopeful there for a second. I am going to disappoint you, and I am going to try a new method that I have thought through a little more. Yeah, Mrs. Bowtie does cringe at me sometimes, so she does not supervise me as well as she probably should at times, and she's sitting in the other room in there. We'll have to see if she has to rescue me at all. But I am just putting this dry, well, I say dry, the mostly strained out pepper mix into here. And there's a bunch of peppers in here. Go back and look at the video where I made this very mix. I did this on video, so you can see exactly what goes in here. In fact, I think this is this batch number 3, I think, on Facebook. I actually posted the exact gram weights of all the peppers that I put in here. And amazingly, this has been 6 weeks. 6 weeks fermenting, and it looks beautiful. I am so encouraged. Now, what I'm going to do with this is we're going to put it in a jar. I'm going to keep the finished product that we make here today in this jar, but I'm going to keep it in a jar that I will use as my hot sauce jar, and I will cut it with vinegar. And I've said this before in other videos, the vinegar is a normal thing to cut the hot sauces with. And sometimes it's 70% vinegar. Tabasco sauce is a real surprisingly high amount of vinegar. I was very surprised when I found out how much was in there. I can't remember the exact number, but I remember being very surprised that, wow, that's a lot of vinegar. I thought, in fact, I had a jar, which is no longer with us, but I did have a jar that I used to mix it in, and I thought, oh, it's not a very big jar. I put a tablespoon in there, 2 tablespoons, 3, and then it turned out to be a lot more than that. So I generally do about 50% vinegar, 50% of this mash. And so the mash, and so here we go. This is an immersion blender. It has a blade underneath here. It's plugged in. That was not very smart. But basically you stick this in here. Now, there's still a lot of juices in here, which I'm not too worried about. However, I am going to avoid the error of my ways, and I'm going to give myself some protection. Oh yes, you hear that? what happens is that cup thing gets to a point where it fills up, and I think what it's doing is it gets rid of the air up in there and it starts pulling down. That's where you want to get it to, because then it's doing really good mixing. And so, and it makes that different sound. If you heard that sound, that's really starting to churn in there. That's what I'm trying to get to. So I'm pushing some of the more solid stuff down. That's it. It's sucking it in. Okay, so that was really sucking it down to the bottom, which is what I wanted to get to. And I'm really pleased with how this is looking. In fact, you can see the seeds are not even very apparent. The seeds are getting chewed up, which is really nice. Let me see if I can get this a little more. So in my last batch, I said that I like to have the chunks, and I do like to have the chunks, but chunks were a little bit much in that last one. I did it in a not a food processor, but a blender, and it left some pretty big chunks down near the bottom, and I was a little disappointed how big the chunks were, which is why I decided to go with this route. And you can see here, this is really, it's still chunky, but it is really well mixed. I'm going to do a little bit more here. So I'm not real versed with this tool yet, but yeah, I'm much more pleased with this method of doing it. So yeah, looking a lot better. So I can see this being mixed in with half of this mash with half vinegar and making a really good supplement for my breakfasts. So let's give it a shot, see what happens here, and fill a jar. So just as a real quick side note, I want to show you just a couple of the bottles that I have been using for my hot sauce. This was my original hot sauce bottle. It's recycled from something. I loved it because it had a little, whatever the clear plastic is, this thing that I could pull out and clean separately between batches. It's sealed tightly. I went to this thing here, and first off, this thing here is, I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's a food grade jar, so it's supposed to be really good. However, I did notice when I washed it in the dishwasher, there is some water in the lid here now, and I've got to figure out how to get this thing off of here. I have a feeling it's going to be a difficult thing. I'm not sure what to do with that now. However, one of the things that I discovered, both of these jars, as I poured the sauce, the larger chunks got caught down a little further, and this one got caught behind that lip right there. This actually settled down here, so the big chunks, I ended up with a lot of big chunks at the end is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm trying a new bottle this time. Again, this bottle I got from Hobby Lobby. It's a food grade bottle. It has been cleaned. This still has part of the label on the bottom though, but it has a washer type insert here in the lid that will come out. I can't get it out without a tool, but I liked that feature from the first jar because you could take that out, wash it by hand, wash this by hand. This can go in the dishwasher and clean up really good. So I'm going to use a new jar today, and I'm feeling very optimistic about that, especially that it seals down real good. So again, this was what, $6 at Hobby Lobby. So it's not a very expensive jar. It is food grade. It does say on the bottom, food safe. There's your source to find some nice bottles. So we're going to end up pouring some of this into there. I will not run that to clean it, I promise. After the first disaster with that thing, I'm still learning how to use this. And by the way, this is just an immersion blender. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty substantial. I think we got it on Amazon for somewhere between $40 and $60. And it has a dial here for 12 speeds. It has a pulse and an on, but you have to, the turbo pulse is really fast, and the on, you can use the speed, but you have to hold the button in. It won't just run itself. So it's definitely something that you use while holding, but they're easy to come by. So anyway, so here's our mash, and I am really pleased with the way this looks. It's not as hot as I like. In future, I'm not going to put the poblanos in, and I probably will not put in the banana peppers because I really do like it hot. But it does look good. I do like what the immersion blender did to it. The consistency is just a lot better, and it's going to go better in my morning eggs every morning. So let's go ahead and start filling up this jar, and you'll notice here I just have this distilled white vinegar, folks. That's it. Now, there are recipes that call for different kinds of vinegar, and we'll get to that. I have to start simple. So a basic funnel, very useful to fill these things up. And I'll tell you what I found is a chopstick to poke stuff down when it gets stuck. I think that this might not get as stuck as previous batches of this, but basically I'm going to fill it up so far so I can put appropriate amount of vinegar in here, and we'll see what we get. This is just very simple. Yeah, it's pretty thick. Use the fat end, there's a skinny end and the fat, and use the fat end of the chopstick to push it down in there. This takes a little time. I could probably find a larger mouth funnel for this, maybe, but I don't have one right now, so I might have to, if this jar works out good, I may have to go and find me a slightly larger mouth funnel. But see, it's getting pretty close. Yeah, I'm going to get another jar out of this. That makes me very happy. Good deal. There we go. So, looking at that, I'm going to just put vinegar in there. Distilled white vinegar. Now, again, I am starting out, folks. I am not a chef. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? I'm just figuring things out, and I'm just kind of taking you along for the ride here. You're welcome to laugh, because if you know better ways to do this, because I don't yet. I am learning, but I know I am studying, I'm being educated, I am learning from the best, I'm growing better peppers, so this is going to get to be a better process in the future. This is just the early days. So I'm looking here, I want to fill up to about, well, I'm going to put about here with distilled white vinegar, and we're going to just see what the consistency looks like. And there is no right or wrong on this, folks. Different recipes do different amounts of vinegar and the mash and everything else, and peppers, and you can put other, oh, this does have a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic in it, but I'm looking here, wow, that actually looks pretty good for me. So, I may end up adding a little more, I don't know. It looks really good. I'm gonna try this in my eggs tomorrow. Do you wanna watch? I likey. Okay, so let's try it on the eggs tomorrow. So it's the next morning, and I'm making my breakfast. And I just want to show you how the new bottle of sauce pours. I microwave my eggs. You can put as much controversy in that as you want to, but it's wonderful. You got to have a little water in there to cook the eggs. A little bit of pepper, and here we go. The new sauce. That's beautiful. You have to use cook power 50% to make this work. But when done right, it makes fluffy eggs. Sometimes this flops up a lot bigger, but I put it on a smear of cream cheese on my toast. And that's my breakfast. Plus a banana, and I'm all set. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Bowtie Life. If you have, thank you for subscribing and appreciate your support. Something free you can do. Have a blessed day.